Hello! In this lesson, we will talk about web application firewalls and how they've evolved over time. What is a web application firewall, and how does it differ from the traditional edge firewall? A web application firewall, or WAF, is an appliance or software that monitors and blocks HTTP traffic to and from the web application. It differs from a traditional edge firewall in that it targets the content from specific web applications and at the application level, while edge firewalls fashion secure gateways between the local area network and outside servers at the network level. Specifically, by inspecting HTTP traffic, WAF can stymie attacks originating from web application security flaws, such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, file inclusion, and security misconfigurations. Given that much of our time, both at work and at home, is spent interfacing with web applications and web servers, the web application firewall becomes a vital component in our arsenal against bad actors and their wanton online schemes. The ancestor of the web application firewall is the application firewall that was first developed in the 1990s. Although largely a network-based firewall, it could target some applications or protocols, such as File Transfer Protocol, FTP, and Remote Shell, RSH, which is a command-line computer program. The debut of the World Wide Web in 1991 was the big bang of the Internet universe, which has since expanded at an accelerated pace. The very accessibility and openness of the Internet permitted anyone to search and explore, but it also permitted bad actors to use it for their own sordid purposes. As more people and organizations became victim to espionage, theft, and other crimes, developing a defense against HTTP-based cyber attacks became a foremost priority. WAF couldn't rely on traditional edge firewall methods that based decisions on a blacklist of network addresses and blocked certain protocols and port numbers. As all web applications used HTTP and either port 80 or 443, this approach wasn't very useful. To further illustrate this, let's look at a common attack method called SQL injection. Imagine you run an online business and customers and partners log into your site to buy products and services. A typical login page asks for a user ID and password. This individual, let's call him John Smith, types his user ID, J. Smith, and his password. This information is verified on the back-end database. If the password is true, John Smith gets in. But if the password is false, he does not. Now, a bad actor probably doesn't know John's password. He could always guess, but that might take him a very long time. Instead, for the password, the bad actor types ABC123 or 2 plus 2 equals 4. When John's credentials are sent back to the database for verification, it is likely that the password ABC123 is false. However, the expression 2 plus 2 equals 4 is true. Bingo! The bad actor is in. Thus, the first generation of web application firewalls used blacklists and signature-based HTTP attributes to alert the firewall of an attack. So an SQL injection attack like this no longer got through. With Internet popularity soaring, soon the sheer number of web applications and their growing complexity made the signature-based approach obsolete. As well, the number of false positives, that is, alerts of attacks that were in fact legitimate connections, grew to proportions beyond the capacity of IT security teams. In the next generation, web application firewalls became more intelligent. There was an element of learning by the firewall. The WAF could monitor web applications over a period of time and automatically generate whitelists, legitimate web applications, while maintaining blacklists, web applications that proved a danger. It also introduced session monitoring and heuristics, which permitted the firewall to detect variants of known signatures. This was a step forward, but as machine learning was overseen by IT security, defense could not keep up with the ever-expanding numbers of mutations of existing methods or new exploits. Moreover, there was no defense against zero-day exploits, which exploited an unknown weakness in software code. The logical turn in web application firewall development was machine learning unencumbered by human intervention. Now behavior analysis could be done at machine speeds and could adapt to the ever-changing attributes of the threat. Other security features were augmented to the firewall. Among these assets were distributed denial of service defense, IP reputation, antivirus, and data leak prevention (DLP). The firewall could stop any action that violated accepted HTTP behavior. It could identify the user and correlate the action they were attempting to do with their permissions, and desist any action that went beyond the scope of their role. The WAF was also designed to share information and collaborate with other security devices in the network, such as other firewalls and sandboxes. This served to integrate the firewall into an interlocking collective defense, as opposed to working independently. The sandboxing allowed suspicious material to be tested safely in isolation of the network. Zero-day attacks could be exposed and quarantined in these sandbox environments, and their signatures could be shared with other devices on the network. In addition, these new discoveries could be uploaded to a threat intelligence center on the Internet, where they can be communicated to other networks. Fortinet has a web application firewall, as described here, named FortiWeb. FortiWeb can be integrated with FortiGate and Fortinet's sandbox product, FortiSandbox. FortiGuard Labs is Fortinet's threat intelligence center, which can provide vital updates to FortiWeb and to other Fortinet products. Thank you for your time, and please remember to take the quiz that follows this lesson.